and to receive. Good morning, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And I'm Charles Fisher. Just want to get up and dance this morning. Guess who's back?
I'm back.
Was vacation?
It was swell. I had a great time. It was good.
I got a special song for you this morning. I miss you like crazy. I miss you like crazy.
So you had a great
Got a great time, but I really miss you a lot. You're looking so spoofy this morning, like you had a great rested vacation. And I know everybody's glad to see you back. I know my heart is just pumping. Oh, I miss LaDawn.
You know, I was getting my fitness journey.
Oh,
and so
here we go already with
slim
these.
down and, try to look, to look good for my birthday in July. It's coming up, so, I have to look swell and sway and sexy. And,
So now they say you talk some and you keep some. What were you doing on vacation? And what you can't tell on screen, you could write it down for me.
Yeah, it's a lot I got to tell you. I got to tell you behind the scene. Yeah, but it was a good one. It was a good one. We need to go fishing and jet linking and jet skiing. We need to do those.
You see the nails?
Yeah.
I could tell you didn't do no hard work over
I didn't do no hard
vacation.
work,
You just catered to.
Yeah.
Well, LaDawn is back and all smiles. Yes, I miss this young lady. I gotta sing that. I miss you like crazy. Who sings that song? I need an old school like Sko or Teron them to tell me who sings that
Karen,
song.
That Karen tell you.
Yeah, so that is past my age, but that just came to my mind. Yes, LaDawn is back. Yeah. But Lloyd Allen, he's still with us. He's out there on the streets with a new look as well. Good morning, Lloyd.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Well, of course, good morning, Fisher, and welcome back, LaDawn. Good morning, Bahamas. It's a great start to your Wednesday morning. Today, your first look at traffic. This one coming in from Shirley Street near Hawkins Hill. It's a slow start to the morning as a few cars are heading into the downtown area. Of course, if you need to utilize this route to get to your morning destination, you should be able to do so nice and smoothly, of course, without any obstruction. We also want to remind you in other parts of the island of major roadwork projects, particularly in the area of Blake Road, West Bay Street, and others. Of course, if you happen to approach any of those, we advise that you approach them with caution, as it may create some delay, and you may want to consider an alternative route. In other parts of the country, in those out islands, particularly those Queens Highway, the numerous Queens highways around the Bahamas, we do want to advise drivers to drive with caution and care, as of course we've gotten some reports from the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division of some increasingly serious accidents in those areas. And so, of course, that's a quick look at your Wednesday traffic report. Back to you guys in studio.
Chilly 57 degrees, partly cloudy on the outside, humidity 87%. Today, partly to mostly sunny and warm with a chance of a passing shower. Daytime high temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit, dips to 59 degrees tonight. Thursday and Friday, mostly sunny and nice. Thursday, we'll be looking at a day high temperature of 78, cool 57 at night. Friday, up a little bit in the day, 81, 58 at night. As for the weekend and into next week, temperatures looking the same, picking up a bit, however, at night with lows in the 70s.
Let's take a look now at stories making news headlines.
Now that the Easter holiday weekend has ended, health officials will now determine the exact source behind the increase in COVID-19 cases, and it's generating concern among health officials. We will hear during a national COVID-19 task force press conference at 3 o'clock this afternoon what was discovered. But this is what Health Minister the Honorable Renwood Wells told reporters before the weekly cabinet meeting on Tuesday.
We've been reminding the Bahamian people to adhere to the health protocols, especially during the holiday that we just simply went through. There was lots of activity on lots and lots of activity. And so we're hoping that at the end of the day, what we saw does not inure to increasing numbers.
It seems as though COVID-19 case numbers are going down as only 7 new positive cases were reported in the Ministry of Health's latest release, 5 here in New Providence, 1 over in Grand Bahama, and the other in Abaco. These cases make up 6 females and 1 male, bringing the total number of cases across the country to 9,270. 2 of the new cases in New Providence have a history of travel within the last 14 days. 38 individuals are hospitalized for COVID-19, 3 detained in the intensive care unit, and 33 listed as moderately ill. There are 296 active cases. Commodore of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Dr. Raymond King, is said to be doing well while under quarantine at home. A statement from the Cabinet Office over the weekend confirmed that the Commodore was exposed to COVID-19. Commodore King continues to receive updates on the force's operations while out of office. COVID-19 vaccination sites reopened today following the Easter holiday. Sites here in New Providence include Loyola Hall on Gladstone Road and the Church of God of Prophecy on East Street. Meantime, over in Grand Bahama, the Susan J. Wallace Community Center is being utilized. Vaccinations are currently open to healthcare workers, persons 60 years of age and older, and officers of the uniformed branches. The police force's confidential hotline working overtime this past holiday weekend with reports of mass gatherings. Minister of National Security, the Honorable Marvin Dames, is asking for the public's continued support in adhering to the COVID-19 protocols.
I know that persons feel as if they would have been, in prison, caged up for so long, right? But this is about our health and prosperity as a nation. And the more we feel as if we are flaunting the law, right, the greater the risk for us, not only in the short term, but in the long term as well.
Government social assistance program has been extended once again. Minister of the Public Service and National Insurance, the Honorable Brenzo Rolle, could not say how much longer the program could be sustained, but urged residents now working to pay their national insurance contributions.
It's a situation where there are some sections of the economy that some individuals do not pay their contributions on time. They get monies from individuals and they don't deposit it to NIB. And the result is NIB have to step in and assist these individuals whenever there's a disaster like this one.
After taking a hit during the COVID-19 pandemic, the construction industry has seen improvements in recent months. Director of Labor John Pinder says many of the positions available may be outside of the capital and people have to be willing to relocate.
For the most part, a lot of jobs are available in Abaco. I think they now have living accommodation for persons. It ain't gonna be the most comfortable accommodation. I think they still have trail houses there that people are living in. But there's an opportunity for you to save money when you go to these family islands to work, because there ain't much social activities. If you make up your mind to sacrifice a year or two to bank some money to help keep your bills down, working at those family islands on all those keys is a good thing.
And when we come back, we'll show you how hard work pays off. You're watching The Morning Edition.
We recently introduced you to BAIC employee Latika Rule as an invaluable member of the team. Well, this morning, as the corporation celebrates its 40th anniversary, we shed some light on another employee, blazing trails in his own right. Lloyd Allen has more.
I love to start from the bottom and keep climbing as I go, and so far it's been successful.
Dwight Rigby is a behind-the-scenes kind of employee. Back in 2017, he worked in the facilities department, where his job was simply to maintain the grounds and building. But as he tells it, it was not long before his hard work paid off.
Working in facilities, I was doing landscaping, painting, maintenance work, whatever they asked of me to do, cut trees, lawn, walk. So when I realized in life, someone always watching. The GM and the chairman those see some interest in me, and they just approach me and ask me to carry the task in the produce area, and that's how I ended up in the produce. So from then to now, about most a year ago, I'm the acting manager.
On any given day, Rigby roves between a number of areas, spreading his wings and going above and beyond, like arriving to his 8 a.m. shift at 7.
It always work to do, because there's a lot of grading, a lot of expectation to keep the fruits and everything in order, the room temperature. Then you got to also grade the stuff out there for the customer. Presentation. First impression is the last impression, so we always try to have the best out.
Selected as the recent Employee of the Year, Rigby says his success has only come through understanding the principle of using more hands to get the work done.
We have a team of about 2 cashiers, 3 writers, and about 4 or 5 trucks and produce guys with make the day happen, try to make it easy for everybody. It's a team thing. It's not a one-man thing.
Even his family has been drawn into the mindset of being the best. Rigby says he settles for nothing less.
You go home, sometimes the mistress be like, wake again. So I be like, well, you know, if sometimes they call me to do a task or job on my day off, I tell her, let's go, jump in the car, come carry me to the job. So sometimes she'd be right there while I doing whatever I asked to do.
Senior Deputy General Manager Debbie Strawn says employees like Rigby come a dime a dozen.
Mr. Rigby is one of those people, you know the wife, you know the children. Whenever we're having activities, his wife is present, the children are present, and you appreciate that. So we appreciate that here at BAIC, and I want to thank Dwight Rigby.
Students of Tabernacle Baptist over in Grand Bahama are being recognized for their accomplishments at the Northern Bahamas SECME competition held virtually this year. Ramiko Knowles reports.
Tabernacle Baptist has made a name for itself in the sports arena, but Principal Ashnell Bean says the school has also excelled academically throughout the years.
This morning we are here to congratulate our students that have done well in the SECME competitions. We have first, second, third places in the bridge competition.
Senior student at the institution, Kirsten Dames, took part in the bridge building competition. She placed first overall. Junior student Jamil Stubbs placed third.
It was actually pretty nice. It was just really nice. I feel as if it's a great accomplishment because last year we came second. And this year when I heard I come first, I was so excited.
It's actually my second time. It was actually good again. But hopefully we plan to build the bridge more stronger and more durable. But it was good.
Junior student Janaya McMinnis placed first in the poster competition. She says it was an undescribable feeling. Her winning poster depicted the fight against COVID-19.
The topic was Lord Heal Our Land. So I decided to put hands holding the earth. And I had the coronavirus, like the symbol surrounding the earth. It had COVID-19 inside of it, so I decided to put the symbols all around the earth. How we have to wear a mask everywhere we're going now, that's why I also decided to put a mask on the earth.
John Poitier participated in the essay competition. His composition expressed how SECME has allowed STEM to improve over the years. He shares a little of what he wrote.
Our animal is the falcon. So I said in the beginning, envision this, a falcon soaring beneath a cloud. However, the falcon was inhibited from going above the cloud because the cloud was blocking it. And I said that blockage represents the issues that outdated concepts can have for STEM. And then I said SECME, which is the wind beneath the falcon's wings, uplifts the falcon and allows it to soar over the cloud. In the same way, that metaphor corresponds to how STEM has been restricted by outdated concepts.
Of the association, Ms. Pinder and Ms. Avis Monroe, they orchestrated the event. 18 cancer survivors, caregivers, and volunteers received kits and gardening tools while participating in the event. In partnership with BAMSI, the farming program was coordinated by cancer survivor Avis Monroe, who credits most of her healing and wellness journey to eating foods grown in her own backyard. The backyard farming program will run until May of this year.
Well, good morning, Bahamas. Of course, you know, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. We're out here in the back cooking, and today we're joined by Carlisle. Carlisle, of course, Needy Pizza is one of those vendors, a part of Tin Furl, and you've been there for a while. Tell us a bit about your business.
Well, thank you for inviting us here. Needy Pizza was kind of born out of a need to just to want to cook. You know, I've always had a passion for it, and you know, right before the pandemic, we decided to just, you know, jump headfirst into something that was different, something that we didn't really have a presence of here on the island, right?
So you talked about the Neapolitan style. So of course
Yes.
you want to get started. People are hungry.
Yes.
What do you got for us this morning?
So for breakfast, everybody does the bacon and eggs and all that, and we can do that,
Yes.
right? But today I'm just gonna throw that out of the window for now, right? We like tuna and grits first thing in the morning sometimes, so I'm gonna do kind of a twist. I'm gonna use tuna, but I'm gonna make it like a tuna melt sort of deal, right? So we still get that, that seafood thing that Bahamians want to
know what
have
it
first
is.
thing in the morning.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna try a little take on something like that for the morning.
All right, so get started.
All right.
So first up we have the
First,
dough.
we have some dough. This dough is a 65 or 62% hydration. I made this morning. And that's usually, you want to have a dough that's a little bit higher hydration when you're working with Neapolitan style. The higher hydration actually helps the dough to feel more airy and light, right?
yeah.
We also do usually do a 48-hour ferment on the dough, which changes the flavor of it, right? Allows the yeast to get in there and work and break down some of those sugars, right? So as we press this out here,
Now, I imagine that's a good approach for a lot of people out there like myself who are trying to, lose some weight.
Yeah.
I like light pizza, not that heavy stuff. And so that sounds like it's going to be nice and light.
Yes, yes. So it's a little different from what you might get from some of the normal pizza.
Some of the other guys.
Yeah, the other guys, right? So it's a little different from there. You'll find pizza like this normally in Italy, places like that. That's more where the Neapolitan style came from.
Now, Carlisle, I know you're multi-talented. Where did you learn this?
I actually learned this on YouTube.
YouTube? Everyone's going to YouTube.
Yeah, like I said, I've always been, I've never been shy of the kitchen.
Right.
So it didn't really take a long time to kind of pick up on what I was watching and what I was learning, the tips and tricks of Neapolitan pizza.
Now, of course, we only have a half-hour show. We just have a few minutes to get this
Sure.
on the go. We don't need even 30 minutes. This oven that you have here takes about 90 seconds to cook this pizza?
Yep.
Wow.
Actually, if you were to go to Italy and ask, what does it take to be a true Neapolitan pizza? They would tell you it has to be cooked in about 90 seconds.
Wow.
Right? And that was the goal. We wanted something that was going to be fast, right? We're going to get things on the plate and into your stomach as quickly as possible, right?
What kind of cheese we have there?
So this is mozzarella. This is a blend of a drier mozzarella and some chunks of fresh mozzarella.
Wow.
So you will have some cheesy kind of stretchy moments happening on the base here.
Well, of course, we're going to return back to Kyle before we end the show. But, of course, he's going to be out here cooking, and I'm going to be out here waiting for my slice of pizza. Back to you guys in the studio.
And as we head to the break, we take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On April 7th, 1932, a petition was presented in the House of Assembly protesting an amendment to the Public Holidays Act that would have allowed shops to open on Sundays when cruise ships were in port. Among those to sign the petition were the Lord Bishop of Nassau, representatives of the Wesley Methodist Church, Presbyterian churches, and some shopkeepers. Also on April 7, 1995, the Grand Bahama Port Authority and Hutchinson International Holdings Limited of the United Kingdom signed an agreement for the construction of an $88 million container transshipment port at the Freeport Harbor.
According to first-time author Jamal Bullard, his newest book, Floetry, released last week, was a big hit among locals and around the region. Here's Lloyd Allen.
It's writing with a purpose. Of course, I'm an avid reader, and it's always a pleasure meeting persons who write and read with a purpose. This morning, we're joined by Jamal Bullard. He's the author of one of the newest books on the market. It's called Floetry, and it's not the music group. Jamal, welcome to the morning edition, and tell us all about Floetry.
Thanks for having me. Floetry started in July of 2015. It started with one prayer. I was going through a rough patch in my life, mentally and emotionally, and I just knelt and I asked God to use me in whichever way, shape, or form He sees fit to my purpose to humankind. And 17 months later, the assignment called Flowetry came to life.
Now, I know by profession you're a croupier, but of course you're so much more than that, and that is displayed throughout your book. In the message, of course, you said that it's an acronym. Finding the Lord or eternity renders treacherous results for you. And what does that mean?
What that basically means is this. We are all going through struggles, hardships, even joys and happiness. So wherever you're at in life, this book encourages you to showcase whatever that may be. So if you're going through hardships, this book expresses your truths. So I want to touch on everything that you're going through, and not just the good times, because we all are struggling in some way, shape, or form. And the Lord bless us with His power, His mercy, His goodness to get us through this time, and that's what this book does for you.
Now, again, how long does a person actually take to get through this book, and where can we find this book?
All right, the book seems overwhelming because it's kind of big. It's like an 8.5 by 11, and it has about 500 pages, but it really isn't, because the book gives you 63 opportunities to write, 36 opportunities to draw, and about 50 pages of fun and games. You can also find my book on Amazon. It should be on Amazon in a matter of days. It's right now located on Kindle, but I encourage you to get the paperback copy so you could really experience the writing and drawing yourself.
And of course, for persons like myself who are obviously going to be engaged from start to finish, what's that goal at the end?
The goal at the end is called the 50-50 challenge. What I'm inviting you to do with this book, I operate with a goal in mind that I want to help people. So in order to help people, I want to incentivize you. So what I'm encouraging you to do is fill out your book. Complete every process there is in the book. There are a lot of trials and proposition in the book as well. And when you complete that, you could submit your book back to me, and you can be a part of the 50-50 challenge.
And it's a pleasure having you here on the Morning Edition. Fisher and LaDawn, back to you in studio.
Are you in for a real good game of dominoes? Well, I think I know just where you can find one in a relaxing atmosphere, but you better bring your A game.
You can find them just about every day slamming dominoes as you exit the Potter's Key dock. A group of men who have been out here for quite some time, rain or shine.
Yeah, this is an everyday thing, except when it rains. See, when it rains, we don't play here. We go underneath this shade there. Then we bring the table there, put the build the wall there, be over here. Now be over here now.
We probably been playing about 30 years.
And it's a relaxing spot right near the ocean breeze.
Well, it's just fun, you know, recreation. For the elderly guys, most of the guys who play out here are retiring.
Yeah,
so, you know, that's the only thing we could do.
Well, and obviously, how long do you be out here from 12 when until when?
Around 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Just playing dominoes all day?
All day.
You don't get tired?
It's fun, man. It's only for fun. It's something like a club.
So can anyone just come sit down and play?
Anybody can come. Anybody can come. It's only a fun thing.
Yes, there are lots of shoveling and dealing, and yes, trash talk.
Play for chips. I beat them most every different day. That's like a regatta. The same thing.
Trash talking.
Trash talking.
Some can take it, some can't take it.
That's true. Something like this, my homeboy here for next summer. He can't take it.
I am the controller.
You're no controller around here.
I am the controller.
You're controller that.
I just beat them because I could beat them.
Yeah.
And beat them to let them know I could beat them.
And you may think this is an old boys club.
Right now you about 83.
I'm 75.
This one's 75. I 71, he was 73. Yeah. Gentleman there. This one here about 20, 24.
I learn a lot from them. Strategies and I conquer them once in a while, but they mostly just beat me. You gotta lose to win, and you gotta beat them. You gotta get beaten first to beat the boss or the master. You can't just jump in and expect him to control the teams.
So we're back on the outside. Of course, Carlisle, the pizza is ready.
And I'm ready because I'm hungry. I'm sure you're hungry, Fisher. I'm sure you're hungry.
Well, I'm used to eating chicken and fries in the morning, so this will do pretty good. What, tuna?
Yes, sir.
Tuna, cheese,
we
onions.
like our
I
tuna
see
and
some
grits first thing in the morning.
there.
We have some chives
Oh, God.
in there as well.
Through this mask, I can smell it. It smells really
There you
aromatic.
go.
I'm really hungry.
But of
Yes.
course, Kyle, another question. I know
Yeah.
your establishment, you offer options for vegans as well.
Yeah, we do some Beyond Meat versions that also have vegan cheese, tons of fresh veggies. We usually actually go to the farmer's market up the road from where Tin Furl is and get eggs and all sorts of fresh produce just to keep it as local and as fresh as possible.
Remember this?
What about seafood lovers like me? Seafood lovers, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know what? We have one. Besides the tuna that we do here, we do have some that are like a smoked salmon
Y'all
and
keep,
something like that.
y'all keep
But we
talking
also
and I'll
do-
be eating. I'm the sampler.
We also
I'm
do
Mikey.
an ackee and jerk,
Oh my
or
gosh.
an ackee and codfish pizza for the Jamaican community. You know, and we'll be that's part of what we want to do. We want to offer
Yes, it does
unique
taste good.
combinations
Well,
of
let me
pizza
try. Let
for
me try.
you know a community that we've never had it. You know.
Well, it's good to definitely have you come out here and cook for us. It's great to see LaDawn eating and Fisher devouring this food. Of course, this is.
This is something
This
really
is so
different.
good.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And that's what we're all about.
Well, again, I want to say thank you so much for visiting us, Fisher and LaDawn.
And that ends the morning edition.
I don't know what I can say, but tune
For
in
the
this
entire
afternoon.
team.
5 o'clock with Amajan Knows, 6:30, and then at 7 o'clock with Makush Lapenda, and then with this pizza. I can't say too much right now because this is tasting so good. And I can see all the guys in the background, the cameraman, Roscoe, Lyndon, and Rodney, they just
Salivating.
Gotta try this some more. Tastes good, everybody.
Have a good morning.
Have a good morning.